Welcome race fans here to NASCAR XFINITY Series qualifying from the Atlanta Motor Speedway as we are about to set the starting lineup for this afternoon's Rinnai 250 race number 2 of the 2017 NASCAR XFINITY Series season. I'm Eric Burton here in the broadcast booth, and we're happy to have you along with us here this afternoon, or this morning I should say, as we'll be bringing you all 3 rounds of knockout qualifying as we will set the field for this afternoon's event. We have 48 cars entered, but only 40 will make the show, and we will find out which 8 drivers will not make the show in this first round of knockout qualifying. Last night we had a 1-hour practice session for these drivers to get their cars dialed in for qualifying last night under the lights, but they'll be qualifying here in the daytime. Let's take a look at your practice speeds from last night. Ryan Blaney, the 12 car, was the fastest car in practice at a 27.002. Kyle Larson, Brad Keselowski, Austin Dillon, and Kyle Busch. They made up the top 5 in practice last night, and you notice that all 5 of those drivers are Sprint Cup Series drivers who will be running in tomorrow's Cup race tomorrow afternoon. They already qualified their Cup cars last night. Austin Dillon will be on the pole for that race come tomorrow afternoon. But for right now, it is all about the Xfinity cars, and we're also going to show you where the Xfinity, Go Ya Homers were last night in practice. You see Ryan Blaney also at the top of this list. He was the fastest Go Ya Homer in practice last night. Kyle Busch, 5th. You see guys like Austin Terrio, 25th. Spencer Gallagher, 29th. And then all the way down to Morgan Shepherd in 48th. He was the slowest Go Ya Homer in practice. So he'll be one of the drivers who'll be fighting his way into the field in round 1 of qualifying. Now round 1 will have 15 minutes on the clock for these drivers to go out onto the speedway and try to get the best lap they can in so they can advance into round number 2, which is the top 24. We will explain the format as we go along in this qualifying video. But for right now, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll have cars on the racetrack here from the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Welcome back here to Atlanta, and round number 1 has begun here from the Atlanta Motor Speedway, and you see cars already rolling out of pit lane onto the speedway, being led by your Daytona 500 champion Brad Keselowski in the discount tire Ford Mustang for Penske Racing. Brad Keselowski won the 500 1 week ago. James Buescher almost won the Xfinity race 1 week ago, driving the number 1 Gunbroker.com Ford Mustang out of Rouse Fenway Racing. And behind those two, the 28 of Ross Chastain in the JGL Toyota Camry in the number 28 car as they take the green flag. Round number 1 has begun here from Atlanta. William Byron's on track in the 09. There's the 18 of Kyle Busch going by. Blake Cook on track. John West Townley. Round number 1 will be 15 minutes long, and all 48 cars make their way onto the speedway, and their goal is to make it into round number 2. That is the top 24. That is their goal at the moment for a guy like Blake Cook, for a guy like John West Townley. But it's different for a guy like the number 80 of Austin Terrio. Remember, we have 18 going home teams that must qualify on time. 10 of them will make the show, but the slowest 8 will not make the show. And after this 15-minute round, we will know who will not make the show for this afternoon's race. One of them could be Austin Terrio. The Hattori Racing Enterprise Toyota Camry, the Aisin Toyota, on the outside of Cole Custer in the 00 for Stuart Haas Racing, 2 of our Rookie of the Year contenders, 2 young kids. And then you got the former series champion now, the 99 of Jeff Green, driving the 99 for BJ McLeod Motorsports. On track in the 99, one of our Go Ya Homers, and we have a couple of drivers who must qualify on time, who could use a past champion provisional. That's Jeff Green and Kyle Busch, but before the season started, NASCAR announced that they are no longer using the past champion provisional for these former series champions like Kyle Busch and Jeff Green. So for Green and Busch, they gotta qualify on time. As we take a look at Jeff Green's teammate and boss, the 78 of BJ McLeod, another Go Ya Homer, along with the 40 of Josh Rayum in the 40 car for MBM Motorsports. clock is now rolling as we are under 12 minutes now here and round number 1 left to go. And right now the fastest guy at the moment is the 22 of Brad Keselowski. As we are going to go and try to find the 22. And he must be on, oh, there he is right here. Brad Keselowski, the discount tire Ford Mustang, and the 18 of Kyle Busch, and the 2 of Austin Dillon. 3 guys will be running in tomorrow's NASCAR Sprint Cup Series race here from Atlanta. In fact, one of them, like we said earlier, right before qualifying started, one of them is on the pole, Austin Dillon. The Ream Chevrolet today will be the Dow Corning Chevrolet tomorrow in the Cup Series race when he leads the field down to green in tomorrow's Sprint Cup Series race. And the Fords of Honor Quick Trip 500 got his 4th career Cup Series pole yesterday afternoon, and now hopes to try to get a Xfinity pole this afternoon as Kyle Busch has now went to the top of the board at a 28.482, followed by his Joe Gibbs Racing teammate Daniel Suarez in the 19. Austin Dillon, Brad Keselowski, and William Byron in the top 5. 3 Joe Gibbs cars inside the top 5 with Ryan Blaney, Elliott Sadler, Justin Allgaier, John Hunter Nemechek, and Darrell Wallace your top 10. In fact, let's go and look at the number 7 of Justin Allgaier. Justin Allgaier has the most momentum coming into this weekend at Atlanta. Allgaier won last week's race at Daytona, the season opener. His first ever race with Jenny Motorsports, and it ended up in victory lane. Doesn't really get any better than that. Allgaier now the only guy who pretty much knows he'll be running for a championship in the fall during the playoffs here in the Brent Chevrolet. Allgaier got the win last weekend, his first restricted plate win in NASCAR. And it's already been a wild weekend for the number 39, the driver of the number 39, Ryan Sieg. Ryan Sieg attempted to qualify for his first career Sprint Cup Series race last night for Premium Motorsports. Ryan Sieg was unable to find the speed and he did not qualify for tomorrow's Cup Series race, but he does have something to look forward to. That is his Xfinity car, who's right now 17th quickest at a 28.759 for Ryan Sieg. Right now we have 48 cars entered like we said, but we just got word from NASCAR that 2 drivers, as you see, has been unable to make it onto the track to qualify. We just got word that those 2 drivers had some issues in pre-qualifying inspection, and we actually got word that they will not be able to go out onto the track and qualify. Those 2 cars are the 90 of Mario Gosselin and the 97 of TJ Bell. So those 2 guys will not be able to qualify here in round number 1. The good news is those 2 guys are locked into the show, so they'll be coming from the rear of the field on this afternoon. And speaking of TJ Bell, who right now would start 38th, his teammate Stephen Light in the number 77 car this weekend. Right now he is the slowest car at the moment in that number 77 for O'Baker Racing. Stephen Light, 46. He would not make the show. A former winner in the series, got his one and only career win at Kentucky 10 years ago. John for Robert Yates Racing, but now John for O'Baker Racing, the former Rookie of the Year in the Cup Series. Right now, Light is not in the show at the moment. Neither is Morgan Shepherd, the 40 of Josh Rayum, and the 15 of Clint King. Let's take a look at Clint King real quick. There he is on pit road, trying to make his Xfinity Series debut here this weekend for Rick Ware Racing. But right now, Clint King also not in the show. At the moment, Carl Long, 42nd fastest right now in the 13. Derek Cope, Timmy Hill, and Chris Cockrum. Right now, those would be the guys who would not qualify for this afternoon's race. Cody Ware. Right now, Cody Ware is the last guy who would make the show, as we have about 7.5 minutes remaining. Now, we're talking about the guys at the top of the board like Kyle Busch and Ryan Blaney, and we talked about the going homers and where they rank up right now. But remember, this is round number 1, and the main goal is to make it into the top 24. And let's check out who is holding down that 24 spot. Right now, it is the 05 of John West Townley. John West Townley, 24th quickest. Spencer Gallagher is 25th quickest. Jeremy Clements, Garrett Smithley, J.J. Yaley, but then in Ryan Priest, then you get down to Cole Custer. How about that double zero? Stuart Haas racing car really struggling here in qualifying. He's only ran 12 laps. When most guys have ran almost, a few guys have ran even 20 laps. But yeah, right now Cole Custer struggling with his Haas Automation Ford Mustang. For Stuart Haas Racing right now only 30th quickest in the double zero. How about a great lap by the 28 though? Ross Chastain right now being shown inside the top 15, 12th quickest right now for the 28 of Ross Chastain. A nice lap by the 28. Here's the 07 of Ray Black Jr. Another go homer right now. 37th is where he is right now on the speed chart. A 29.104 is his official time lap at the moment. Justin Allgaier, Austin Dillon, Stephen Light. There's Cole Custer back on the track, and right now one of the first cars who would miss the show would be the 74 of Chris Cockrum. Chris Cockrum driving the 74 for Mike Harmon Racing. And they got a new sponsor on board of Advanced Communications coming on board as the primary sponsor with Chris Cockrum behind the wheel of this 74 Dodge. Right now only 40th quickest for Chris Cockrum. Here's the 98 of Eric Almirola right now 16th quickest in that number 98 for Biaggi. Biaggi, the Bestie Racing. Almirola qualified 7th for the Cup Series race tomorrow in his Richard Petty Motorsports Ford. A great lap in last night's Cup Series qualifying for Eric Almirola. Talking about Ryan Sieg, who attempted to qualify for the Cup race tomorrow but failed to qualify. Jeremy Clements. Spencer Gallagher right now the first car on the outside looking in. And right now the 18 of Kyle Busch. Right now he is the fastest in his NASCAR Energy Toyota. And by the way, the 25 of Cody Ware is 39th quickest. Cody Ware has been bumped by his Rick Ware Racing teammate Clint King. Clint King has gone faster, 38th quickest. Right now King is in, but it bumps his full-time series teammate Cody Ware out of the field unless he can find some speed here in the closing 4 minutes here in round number 1. And also at the 24 mark, John West Townley still the last car inside the top 24. But still a lot of good cars who could still bump their way in. And just like that, someone just bumped their way in. And it was the 51 of Jeremy Clements. Jeremy Clements, a 28.807. He is now in the top 24. That bumps Townley out. Cody Ware has about 3.5 minutes left to go if he wants to qualify for this afternoon's race. David Starr, 35th quickest. Failed to qualify at Daytona 1 week ago, but right now he is in the show this weekend should things stay the same. The bottom 8 again are Ware, Cockrum, Timmy Hill, Derek Cope, the 13 of Carl Long, Josh Rayum, Morgan Shepherd, and Stephen Light. Jeff Green, 36th quickest he's in. At the moment, Ryan Priest, another going homer. 31st quickest he's in the show. We talked about Clint Kane trying to make his Xfinity Series debut. Another guy who's trying to make his debut is Brandon Hightower, the new driver out of Johnny Davis Motorsports. Right now, Hightower is 32nd in his Flex Seal Chevrolet for JDM. Hightower will make his Xfinity Series debut this weekend for that team. And now he is 32nd, going by the 52 of Timmy Hill. Right now, Ryan Blaney is second fastest. 2.5 minutes left to go here in round number 1. Alex Bowman out, returning to the track. Right now, he's 19th quickest. Derek Cope, 42nd. Morgan Shepherd, 45th. And Jeremy Clements has been bumped from the top 24. We're trying to see who got in. It was the 00, Cole Custer. He was 30th not long ago, but now he jumps inside the top 24 with under 2 minutes remaining. 14th quickest now, and that bumps the 51 out, Jeremy Clements, and that now puts the 33 of Brandon Jones on the bubble to make it in round number 2. It's the bottom 4 is Jones, Cook, Sieg, and Justin Marks. That right now is the bottom 4 inside the top 24. A minute and a half remaining here in round number 1. Can anybody find some speed and get themselves in the show? Right now, Clint King is on the bubble to make the event here this afternoon. Brad Keselowski hanging on to 6th quickest right now. It appears he'll be advancing with no problem. Last week's State 2500 champion. Take a look at the number 10 of J.J. Yaley. Drove the 91 for TriStar Motorsports 1 week ago at Daytona. Now moving over to the number 10, Zachary Toyota for the remainder of the 2017 season. Elliott Sadler, a top 5 finish 1 week ago. Right now, 9th quickest. John Hunter Nemechek, 8th quickest. Right now, Brandon Jones is still 24th quickest. Now, the new thing about this, how qualifying will end, is once that clock hits 0, the times are frozen and they are locked. And nobody will be able to change or be able to pick up their lap time no matter where they are on the track. So once that clock hits 0, that is the end of qualifying. No driver will be able to complete their lap. With 10 seconds remaining now, can anybody jump inside the top 24 with 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? That will end round number 1 of Xfinity Series qualifying here from the Atlanta Motor Speedway. So, the top 24 is set, and they'll be moving on to round number 2. And we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we'll show you the speeds of round number 1, show you who will advance, who will not advance, and who will not qualify for this afternoon's Xfinity Series Rinnai 250 from the Atlanta Motor Speedway. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back here to Atlanta as round number 1 is in the books, and we are moments away from the kickoff of round number 2 of NASCAR XFINITY Series knockout qualifying from the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Round 1 just wrapped up, and we're going to take a look at the speeds for round 1 of the drivers who did not advance into the round of 24, the top 24. And it begins with the 51 of Jeremy Clements. Got bumped right at the very last second by Cole Custer. Clements will not advance, neither does John West Townley, Spencer Gallagher, Dakota Armstrong, Garrett Smithley, and the 10 of J.J. Yaley. They will start 25th through 30th. Ryan Priest, Brendan Hightower, Austin Terrio, B.J. McLeod, all the way down to Clint King, who will round out the field of 40 this afternoon. Clint King will make his series debut in the 15 for Rick Roy Racing, but it'll be his teammate of Cody Ware, who'll be the first guy who will not race this afternoon. Neither will Chris Cockrum, Timmy Hill in the 52, Derek Cope, 13 of Carl Long, Josh Rayum, Morgan Shepherd, TJ Bell, and see the 2 guys who did not even attempt to make a lap, Mario Goslin and TJ Bell. They're in the show, but they'll come from the very back of the pack this afternoon. Now I'm going to show you the drivers who will advance into the top 24, beginning with the 18 of Kyle Busch, who was the fastest here in round number 1. Ryan Blaney, Austin Dillon, Matt Tiff, and Daniel Suarez. Your top 5, Brad Keselowski, William Byron, John Hunter Nemechek, Elliott Sadler, and the 88 of Kyle Larson. And you see the rest of the drivers who will move on into round number 2. Cars are on pit road. They're at the ready, and they'll be going back onto the track for round number 2, which will be coming your way when we come back here to the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Back live here at Atlanta, and you see the first car making his way back onto the track. Round number 2 is underway in the final 10 minutes of round number 2. The 8 of John Hunter Nemechek, the first car to make his way back onto the track. The Anderson Maple Syrup Chevrolet for RCR. He'll be the first guy to make a time lap here in round number 2. We have 24 cars here in round 2, but the goal now is to make it into round number 3, the final round of knockout qualifying. That is the top 12. That is where John Hunter is aiming to be as he takes the green flag on his qualifying attempt here in round 2. He's not the only guy on track. The number 20 of Matt Tiff, the 18 of Kyle Busch, the 7 of Justin Allgaier, Justin Marks also on track. See Eric Almirola, Brendan Poole coming out of pit road. Taking a look at the number 20 of Matt Tift, the Heisitz Toyota for Matt Tift. And the lap these guys will be aiming for will be a 29.349 on lap 1 for John Hunter Nemechek. Matt Tiff comes across the line. He picks it up. Allgaier second. Kyle Busch the fastest in the 18. Kyle Busch picks up where he left off in round number 1 at the top of the board. Teammate Matt Tiff second. Allgaier, Nemechek, and Justin Marks your top 5. A lot more cars now coming out of pit road. Nemechek jumps back up to 3rd quickest. And now the 20, Matt Tift, now goes to the top of the board. Kyle Busch jumps to 2nd in the 18 car. Justin Allgaier now 3rd in the 7. Brendan Poole and John Hunter Nemechek are top 5 as 8 cars have now completed a time lap here in round 2. And we have about 7.5 minutes left to go. Right now Matt Tift is the quickest. And we have a big group of cars right here. Entering turn 1 being led by Eric Almirola, Brandon Jones, Greg Gaulding, Matt Tift, Brendan Poole. Right now the 39 of Ryan Sieg just got bumped out the top 12. That puts James Busher now in the 1 car on the bubble. And now a lot more cars went across the line. Put their lap on the board. Right now Ryan Sieg now the guy on the bubble again in that 39 car. Now Greg Gaulding gets pushed to the bubble line. Now he gets bumped back. That puts Austin Dillon on that 12th place. And last spot in the round number 3. 28 Ross Chastain. He had a great run in round number 1. He was 12th quickest in his Florida Watermelon Association Toyota for JGL Racing. Right now, though, all eyes are on the number 20 of Matt Tiff. He currently leads round number 2 at a 28.531. He just picked it up on his most previous lap. So did the 48 of Brendan Poole. But now, a new guy on top is Tiff's teammate, the 19 of Daniel Suarez. A 28.525 is now the new lap to be here in round 2. It's Suarez, Tiff, Brendan Poole, Austin Dillon, and Brad Keselowski. Darrell Wallace, Kyle Busch, Alex Bowman, Blake Cook, and Greg Gaulding, followed by Eric Almirola and John Hunter Nemechek. And now Brendan Jones jumps inside the top 12 in that 33 car. All 24 cars have now taken a time lap here in round 2. Right now the slowest is the 09 of William Byron, a 29.141. That is 24th quickest. He's only completed 1 lap here in round 2. William Byron won the pole last weekend in his series debut at Daytona, making his 2nd career start this weekend at Atlanta. Right now comes across the line. Can he pick it up here on lap number 2? He does, to only a 28.917. That's only 19th quickest for William Byron. Ryan Blaney only 13th quickest right now in the 12 car. And it's Joe Gibbs Racing 1st, 2nd, and 3rd with Daniel Suarez, Kyle Busch, and Matt Tift. Austin Dillon and Brandon Jones now your top 5. Brendan Poole, Greg Gaulding, Eric Almirola, Brad Keselowski, and Darrell Wallace Jr. Alex Bowman, and how about the 39 of Ryan Sieg? How he has now jumped inside the top 12. A great lap by the 39 of Ryan Sieg. A 28.737 right now. Blake Cook, the first guy who would not advance in round 2. Ryan Blaney 14th. Elliott Sadler, John Hunter, William Byron, Justin Allgaier, Justin Marks. See Kyle Larson, the 88. I noticed somebody who we did not talk about in round number 1. The 88 of Kyle Larson. didn't really mention him that much in round number 1, if any. Kyle Larson making his series debut with Juni Motorsports. He's no stranger to the team, but he is a stranger to the Xfinity competition for Juni Motorsports. Larson did run a truck race for the team back at Chicago a couple of years ago. Almost won the race until he ran out of gas. That race was won by John Hunter. Right now, Kyle Larson only 17th quickest in his Eno Chevrolet in the number 88. Right now, Ryan Sieg remains on the bubble. Under 4 minutes left to go here in round number 2. Daniel Suarez still the fastest, but a lot of guys on the outside looking in, even the one of James Buescher. One of the dominant cars last weekend. In fact, the 2 cars leaving pit road were the 2 best cars last weekend at Daytona. The 18 that was driven by Bobby Labonte, and the one of James Buescher. Led the most laps last weekend at Daytona, but neither one got the win. The win went to the 7 of Justin Allgaier. As we look at the 09 of William Byron. Ryan Blaney, a guy who was the favorite to go out and win the pole. Right now, 13th quickest. He's not in the top 12 just yet. He has a lot more work to do, though. He needs to try to find a few tenths to get to the 39 of Ryan Sieg. Under 3 minutes, though. 28 Ross Chastain, only 16th quickest. Right now, the slowest guy in this round is James Buescher, 24th. Cole Custer, 22nd. Justin Allgaier is 20th. William Byron, 19th. John Hunter, Nemechek, 18th. Elliott Sadler, 17th. A lot of big names outside the top 15. And then you got a small, underfunded team like Ryan Sieg in that 39 car, 12th quickest right now in his SRI Performance Chevrolet. Matty Benedetto, 23rd quickest in this EJ Wade Toyota for TSM. Here's a 5 of Alex Bowman. 22, Brad Keselowski. James Buescher. Justin Marks. Coming up next will be round number 3 of knockout qualifying, but after that, it'll be NASCAR Camping Road Truck Series qualifying here from the Atlanta Motor Speedway, as we will set the field for tonight's active Pest Control 200 here from the Atlanta Motor Speedway. 39 trucks are entered, 36 will make the show. Qualifying for that series will be coming up right after Xfinity Series qualifying wraps up here from Atlanta. Right now, Kyle Busch, second quickest, but it's still his teammate Daniel Suarez at the top of the board. Ryan Sieg has been bumped from the top 12, and it must have been by the 9 of Elliott Sadler. Ryan Sieg is out, and the 9 of Elliott Sadler jumps inside the top 12, 10th quickest for Elliott Sadler, and that puts his teammate Alex Bowman on the bubble to advance. Bowman now 12th. The last guy inside the top 12. Here's Bowman. A 28.706 is his time lap. A 28.737 for Ryan Sieg. That is the difference of making it in the round number 3 and missing round number 3. And we have 52 seconds left to go. Remember, like we said in round 1, once the clock hits 0, the times are frozen, and we will automatically go into round number 3. 40 seconds remaining for Daniel Suarez. Right now, from what we saw in round number 1, what we saw in round number 2, it appears that the favorite to win the pole may end up being one of those Joe Gibbs Toyotas. No idea who it could be, but it definitely won't be the 09 of William Byron, who's only 19th quickest in the 09. Doesn't appear that Cole Custer will be picking up here in lap on anytime soon. He's 20th. Justin Marks 22nd. It'll be 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And that will end round number 2 of knockout qualifying for the NASCAR XFINITY Series. So Daniel Suarez wins round number 2 of qualifying. Kyle Busch won round number 1, Suarez round number 2. But who will win round number 3 of qualifying? We'll find out when we come back live here to the Atlanta Motor Speedway, as round number 2 is officially in the books here from Atlanta. Welcome back here to Atlanta, and Round number 3 is moments away from starting. Let's take a look at your speeds in round 2. The drivers who will not advance into the final 12. Ryan Seek 13th. Ryan Blaney, Kyle Larson, Blake Cook, Ross Chastain, John Hunter Nemechek, William Byron, and Cole Custer. Allgaier, Mark, Steve Benedetto, and Busher. The 13 through 24. They do not advance. And you see the drivers who will advance into the final round of qualifying. Daniel Suarez the fastest. But now you see two guys already on track. The final 5 minutes of qualifying here from Atlanta. About to wrap up now. The 48, Brennan Poole. Brennan Poole was 6th quickest here in round number 2. 18, Kyle Busch, who was 1st quickest in round 1, 2nd in round 2. Where will he end up? How about Elliott Sadler? Jumped into the top 12 at the very last second. Alex Bowman, Brandon Jones. You have Keselowski, Austin Dillon, Daniel Suarez, Matt Tifft, Darrell Wallace, Greg Golding, and Eric Almirola. And Brennan Poole will be the first guy to make a time lap here in round number 3. And it'll be a 29.314. That is now the lap everybody will be shooting for here in the closing 3 minutes of round number 3, the final round. And Kyle Busch tops Brennan Poole. A 29.132 set by the 18 of Kyle Busch. He now goes to the top of the board. Elliott Sadler's 2nd, but he gets bumped down to 3rd as Alex Bowman now goes to 2nd in the 5 car. So it's now Brennan Poole back to the top of the board, and Brandon Jones to 2nd. A nice lap by Brandon Jones, but Kyle Busch stays 2nd. He does not beat Brennan Poole. Goes by the 20 of Matt Tifft. Suarez takes the green flag, the fastest guy from round number 2. And Alex Bowman to the top of the board. Bowman now the fastest. Elliott Sadler 2nd. What we're seeing is our cars getting a draft off another car. Is that what's really helping a lot of these cars get faster laps? See, Bowman's in a little pairing with Elliott Sadler and Austin Dillon. But I don't know, as Kyle Busch just went to the top of the board down the 18. Kyle Busch, Alex Bowman, Elliott Sadler, Brennan Poole, and Austin Dillon as Dillon now. To the top of the board goes Austin Dillon. Bowman jumps up to 2nd. Busch falls down to 3rd. So can Dillon win 2 poles in the same weekend? He won the Cup pole yesterday afternoon. Now can he win the Xfinity pole? We'll have about a minute and a half left to go. Daniel Suarez, 7th quickest. Elliott Sadler picks it up to 2nd. Alex Bowman picks it up to 3rd. But Dillon picks it up and he stays top of the board in the 2 car. Brad Keselowski, only 9th quickest. Darrell Wallace, 11th. Brennan Poole, 7th. Brandon Jones, 6th. Greg Golding, 10th. Kyle Busch, 4th. Matt Tifft, 2nd. Matt Tifft jumps up to the outside of the front row at the moment. A 28.646 by Matt Tifft. Eric Almirola, 12th. Daniel Suarez now 4th. Elliott Sadler right now, he stays 3rd. Austin Dillon now the fastest. You notice the cars that are running by themselves, like Keselowski, like Darrell Wallace, like Eric Almirola. They're not really as fast as a guy who was in like a little pack, like a little group, like Austin Dillon was. Now Dillon leaves the track. He'll come down pit road. His run in qualifying is over. Now it's just wait for 30 more seconds. Can Dillon hang on? Daniel Suarez got up to 3rd last time by. Eric Almirola, 12th quickest. He's gotten a little draft off the 19. Can it be enough to possibly go to the top of the board? He picks it up a lot, but he stays 12th quickest. Matt Tifft 2nd, and with 4, 3, 2, 1, that is going to end round number 3, and there is your pole sitter for this afternoon, the number 2 of Austin Dillon, winner of the Cup pole yesterday afternoon, and he wins the Xfinity pole for this afternoon's Rinnai 250, and he'll lead the field down to green in race number 2 of the 2017 NASCAR XFINITY Series season from the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Matt Tiffin, the 20 car, will start second in his Hisense Toyota. As we take a look at the rest of your starting grid for this afternoon's race from Atlanta. Daniel Suarez third, Elliott Sadler and Alex Bowman will be your top 5. The first 5 cars on the starting grid for this afternoon's race, followed by Brandon Jones, Kyle Busch, Greg Gaulding, Brennan Poole, and Brad Keselowski, your top 10. Darrell Wallace Jr. and Eric Almirola, the last 2 guys in round number 3, they'll complete the top 12 on the starting grid. As you look outside the top 12, 13th all the way down to 40th place on the starting grid, which will be held by the 15 of Clint King. So that will wrap up qualifying for the NASCAR XFINITY Series. Coming up next, NASCAR Camping World Truck Series qualifying here from the Atlanta Motor Speedway for tonight's Active Pest Control 200 for race number 2 of the Truck Series season. That is all here for Xfinity qualifying, and we'll see you later on this afternoon for the Rinnai 250 from Atlanta. But when we come back, we'll have Truck Series qualifying. Until then, goodbye everyone, and we'll see you for the Rinnai 250 later on this afternoon. Goodbye everyone.